I'm so sorry that I can't be there right now, but I'm really thankful for technology. I'm going to focus in on how students with reading challenges have difficulties with comprehension. And so first, to start off, just imagine a student with dyslexia, and the letters are constantly switching and changing, and the students are trying to focus on what the word is, but in addition to what the word means. And it's difficult, but in general, it's important to ensure that students are able to comprehend material because it impacts word recognition, decoding, and fluency. And this is significant all throughout the student's life, both in education and in work settings and just in life in general. I researched an intervention called Ask, Read, Tell plus peer discussion. In short, it's called ART plus PD. This intervention is pretty easy for teachers to use. There's a worksheet that goes along with it, and that's going to be passed out to you guys. But first, in the Ask section, before the students start to read the text, they look over the passage, the title, and make inferences as to what the topic might be. They ask themselves what they're probably going to read, if they have any questions to begin with. And during this stage of intervention, students make connections and consider what they might know about the topic or what they could infer about the topic. The final part of the Ask section is for the students to produce 2 questions they hope to find an answer to through reading this text. Second comes the reading section. And during this section, when the students are reading the text, they stop after each paragraph to see if they comprehend what that paragraph means. And so generally they'll write a plus mark if they don't and a minus mark if they don't understand it. And so if the students don't understand the material, they're supposed to go back and apply comprehension fix-up skills to break down the words that they don't understand. And a lot of the times teachers try to include that the students use context clues. Other times teachers will have the students have post-it notes, and then they can write down any words that they don't understand and that they can't figure out, and then the teacher can go back and focus in on those words to ensure that the students get that. It's during the read stage that the students record the words that they don't understand, like I said, but then in the tell section, the students try to answer the questions that they created in the ask section, and so that they're making connections throughout the reading and connecting their prior knowledge to the knowledge that they just learned. And the student is paired with a partner. This is the peer discussion part, and they tell each other the questions that they had, and then they try to respond to the answers that they created and any other questions that they had in general. And this peer discussion part is really important because the students are able to verbally talk about what they just read and share their questions to see if other people had different questions that they could really be beneficial for them. The journal that I read and studied over was about a 2-week school study that focused on reading 400 words per the session of the intervention. And this one also included peer discussion, and the other study that was in this that related it did not include peer discussion. And this study actually found that through 2 weeks of constant strategies that the students' reading comprehension levels increased. And this like whole concept of this intervention is really important because the students are able to look at critical thinking skills, and theory also backs up this intervention. We talked about Vygotsky before in different educational classes, and this is actually a cognitive strategy. And so Vygotsky's view of cognitive development relates to this intervention, as students are able to regulate their thinking, and they're able to process information as they read and go back and make sure that they're really understanding the material. And this intervention also allows for support of the teacher, and the teacher is able to interact with the students and also pair students up strategically where they're able to work with one another and understand what each other's thought process are. Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences also relate to this, as the students are able to go between different intelligences. The students are able to individually work and come up with their own questions, and so this is interpersonal intelligence, but then they're also able to pair with a partner, and they're able to go and work with one another and talk verbally, and so that's interpersonally. And this additionally could be linguistic intelligences because they're just reading and focusing on words, and it would kind of be a stretch, but with logical mathematical intelligence, the students are able to question the passages and focus on reasoning and really finding out what the words mean. And so this strategy would be really important to use just in the classroom. It's really beneficial because it can be used in the entire classroom with gen ed students as well. But the worksheet that I passed out for you is just a guideline, and since most of you are studying for secondary education, I included the Ask worksheet that you can use. Younger grades, the teachers modify the worksheet a little bit, but this strategy is really easy for teachers to use because it doesn't have a lot of materials. It's just honestly the reading text and the worksheet if necessary, but you don't always have to have that. And like I said, any student can use it, which is really beneficial. But I think it's important that students really focus on comprehension, because if they're not understanding what's being read to them or what they're reading, they're not able to fully comprehend the material, and that's really important in a classroom. So thanks.